Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Emulator Review. I'm your good friend, Jason Heine, straight kicking it with you right here at the EMU Review Studios, right here in Arizona. Thanks for joining me. So, today is July 13th. It is the day of my birth. So, I figured I'd go out today, go to Bookman's in Phoenix and in Mesa, and do a little scouting around to see what good gems I could find. And so I found a few and I'd like to share them with you all right now. Starting off, I'm gonna start with oldest to newest. So starting with the NES, I got a little gem here called 720. You may have heard of this from the arcades. This was a very, very successful arcade game that had a very interesting 360-degree joystick and a very unique looking cabinet. I didn't know it was actually ported to the NES. I was quite amazed to find it, and when I saw it, I just had to get it. So we're gonna give that a try. Check that out. Next on the list, and if you're already looking down here, you can see the color of the cartridge itself. It's blue. What other game would that be than Bible Adventures? Yes, that's right. I found a copy of this. Now, this isn't a very expensive game to find. eBay sells them anywhere between $8 to $12 shipped, but I found it for $2 at Bookman's, and when I saw the blue from across the room, had to get it. So, Bible Adventures. Now, I think the angry video game nerd said everything that needs to be said about this game, so I don't think I'll ever do a review on it, but it is a game I want in my collection, so I'm happy to now be adding it. Bible Adventures. Okay, moving on to the next generation of consoles. I have this little gem here. Back in the day, Capcom was really excited and actively pursuing the whole ghoul and ghost and demon type genre of games. They had Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which is a very fun, very hard game. It went cross-platform. But this game here from Capcom is called Demon's Crest. And it follows the same type of genre as Super Ghouls and Ghosts. You play as a demon here, progressing. It's kind of a platformer. And to be honest with you, I haven't played a whole lot of it, but I did rent it back in the day, and I did have fun with it. It is very, very hard. So I'm looking forward to playing through that. May do a review on it. Not quite sure yet, but either way, it is another great Capcom title that has to be in my collection, so I'm proud to have that now. Moving on to the Nintendo 64, I got a few games for that console. I got a game called Body Harvest, produced by Midway. Now, I remember looking this up a long time ago, but when I saw the name, it just struck out to me, and I had to get it. It was only $4, and I don't know a whole lot about this game. So I'm interested to dive in and see what it's all about. So I'm looking forward to playing this. Okay, now moving on to the Nintendo 64. Believe it or not, I only found one game for this console out of the hundreds that they had, but honestly, I have most of them in my collection. Believe it or not. Okay, so I did pick up, though, the very classic, very fun Gauntlet Legends for the Nintendo 64, produced by Midway. Now, I played this like crazy in the arcades. They released this as a cabinet in the arcade, and it is such a fun game. It's 4 players, and it's just an all-out adventure game slash arcade button mash beat 'em up. It is a really, really, really good game. I have seen versions of this ported, but I think that this one is a standout title, and I'm gonna back that up with some research once I play it, so we'll see. Gauntlet Legends, great game. All right, moving on to, let's see, where do I go next? Let's move on to, let's do some PC stuff, because these are kind of older. I got a few titles here. The House of the Dead for Microsoft Windows 1995. Yikes! This is a very rare game to come across in a hard copy. I can't actually believe they had it there. What's interesting on the back is that it says, it requires you to have 32 megabytes virtual memory, and it requires a Pentium 90 megahertz or above. Hello! So this is a 2X CD-ROM drive. You gotta love it. This is for Windows 95. Looks like it came out in 96. We'll see if I can get it running on my machine. If I can't get it running on my XP machine, then I'll have to bust out my 95 or my 98 box and see if I can get that running. Either way, classic game right there. Moving on, we got a little James Bond theme going on. for no reason really. I know I just recently did GoldenEye for a review, but we got a couple PC games here. 007 Nightfire. This was the second title released after GoldenEye. This has a single-player campaign mission, and then it also has online multiplayer, believe it or not, which is still active. I went and got this game running to check it out. This came out in 2002, so decent game. The multiplayer is ridiculous. The physics are just absolutely crazy. Unless I had a really high ping server, I don't know. But people were just hitting me with rockets left and right, and they were just flying around, clipping on everything. So they're obviously cheating and hacking in there. It's not supported anymore. You gotta love it. Also got 007 Racing for PlayStation 1, the PS1. This got very, very poor ratings when it came out. Just for all in all being very boring. I've never played it. This is part of a collector's edition. They released collector's editions that had certain different genres of games. One was an action, one was a racing, I think one was an RPG type set. They were like box sets. I think they had like 4 or 5 games, maybe more. I'm not sure. I've never owned a collector's edition set for the PS1, but this one was included, and it does say it's part of a set, not for individual resale. See that there in the corner? So it's kind of interesting that they had it there. Either way, this is in pretty good shape, so we'll give it a shot. I'm not expecting much out of this. It's like one of those knockoffs, you know? It's like, hey, we just found out that GoldenEye was friggin' popular. Let's just spam it. Let's just spam the 007 name. And that's kind of what that title is, I think. I got a couple more things. I did get this game, box set, Need for Speed, High Stakes for the PC. This came out in 1999, and this is the older generation of Need for Speeds. This is back when it was all about running from the cops, getting hit, taking damage, and risking it all to win, baby. So that's what this is all about. I'm looking forward to playing this. I never played it on the PC. I do have them all on various consoles, from 3DO to PS1 to PS2 and PC, stuff like that. But I love these older ones. You know, I love Hot Pursuit. I love the original Need for Speed. They're just classic games. They're a lot of fun to play. And I'm looking forward to this one. I think I'll be able to get this one running. It says that when I looked at this on the back, it does say, back it says 3D card not required. That worries me, but it's okay. I think I'll get it working. Okay, and lastly, I should have done this sooner, because this is for the NES, but I came across these. They were sitting on the bottom shelf. I don't know if people didn't see them or whatnot, or no one knew what they were. I got a pair of Acclaim wireless NES controllers. These are the action ones, the double player ones. They've got, I'll let you see the controller unless you haven't seen these before. I do have a sealed box copy of these. They got turbo buttons up top. You select player 1 or player 2 there in the middle. They have a slow-mo button, which just basically, it does pause on and off really, really fast. Depending on the game, it will work or it won't work. But either way, these are in mint condition. All the buttons are nice and tight. When I checked all the battery contacts, there's no corrosion at all. So whoever owned it didn't leave batteries in it. That's a wonderful thing. It's hard to find. But they transmit through RF. They've got the receiver here, this little RF receiver there in the front. It plugs into both player 1 and player 2 ports. And this is also in phenomenal shape. Just light surface scratches. Even smells kind of new, which is good. Okay, so that is what I picked up at Bookman's in Phoenix and in Mesa. I wanted to share it with you, kind of my own little birthday present. I'm gonna have a game night if you can't tell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much sums it up and wraps it up for me here. I hope you've enjoyed the few gems that I came across at Bookman's. I try to go cross-platform and get different games from different generations of consoles, NES, Super NES, 64, some PS1, some PC stuff, and some very cool hardware. So I'll be looking forward to using this while I lay in bed and play my NES now. This is the EMU Review Studios. I'm Jason Heine. Thanks for kicking it, and we will see you again soon. Take care.